Hey everyone, happy Thursday evening. Thought I would check in and reflect a bit on what's unfolding. We're in the midst of COVID, still making its way through the world. Many of us are at home, social distancing. It's been hard for lots of people. Many of us are also still out on the front lines, working to help people that are in pain and suffering from what's happening right now. There's many people making sure that we have food and transportation and safety and utilities. And so it's really interesting as we watch what's unfolding. There are those of us that are being invited to really get centered around our home for the ways we live, work, and play. Others of us are, again, still on the front line. Both of these contexts, those of us that are at home and those of us that are on the front lines, still keeping the world working, in whatever camp we might be in, we're being stretched to our limits. We're bumping up against the limits of our current ways of being, of our current systems, our current ways of relating to ourselves, to one another, to our work. And, breakdowns are happening. But as we know in transformational work, that breakthroughs are also happening. This is something that's really impacting everyone. And there's a whole host of things that we're all feeling in really human ways. There's a sense of aloneness and isolation. There's a sense of fear, anxiety, sadness. There's anger, rage. There's blaming and complaining. And, there's a whole general contracting and closing down in many ways. We're also invited to look forward and find love and find an opportunity to be grateful for that which we do have. And from there, we can look towards some hope in the opportunity to take that which we might be angered about today. And as one of my favorite poets, David White, speaks to in his way of relating to anger, saying that anger always points to what we care most about, and it's simply, a care that our body can no longer hold, so it expresses itself in anger. So if we can take that and transmute that anger, get in touch with things that we really care deeply about, and then take our blaming and complaining about what's happening to us, and we can shift that into taking responsibility for that which we can control and we have effect over, and we make commitments, we open up into a new possibility that we want to create, as many of our well-ingrained habitual ways of being, whether you're a kid or a parent or a single person or an elderly person, we're all being impacted by this. So we're getting to see our full humanity across age group, across socioeconomic lines, across geographies, and we're being shown that we're all fully human. And we're also being shown the paradoxical nature of existence. There are those, we see reports every day, there are those who are taking advantage of others and exerting power over others or trying to grab power. That end of the continuum exists still, while there are others on another end of the continuum that are really giving from a place of their advantages, sharing power, giving power. And the way I've been relating to this in my own existence or my own experience and with some of the folks I'm working with is, we're being invited to choose right now. And we're all going to have moments where we're being pulled in the direction of fear and anxiety and sadness and anger, all those things. And they're completely normal reactions to be having right now. And then we get to make a choice to move from that and move into a more generative, empowering context. So, we're all faced with a pretty significant limit situation here, and in those moments, we're invited to move beyond ourself, our narrow view of our own self-interest or who we've been once upon a time, and we get to look to others. We get to care about others. We get to care about the collective. And in those moments, many of us look spiritually to a God, or some of us call it love, or the unified field, the Tao, the void. There's many names for that which is larger than we are. This place where we all come from, and this place where we all ultimately go to. There's lots of names for it. Kind of the big mystery, or what does my brother like to call it? The great reveal. So I want to share a tune that I wrote a number of years ago that really speaks to this notion of where we are right now. We have an opportunity to choose, and we get to surrender into something that's much larger than who we are, individually and collectively. That which holds all of us. And the song's about getting a glimpse into our ways of seeing ourselves and others and what's happening, such that we might get a glimpse into how that puts us into action or not. And as we begin to see that, and what we're under the influence of, we get the chance to make a choice of being more intentionally true, more intentionally good, more intentionally grateful, loving, kind, and caring to ourselves and to one another. So this is a song about all that stuff. This is called Gods with No Name. Can I see something new today to help me know the way, that I see today? Can I do something new today to help me know the way that I go today? And I pray to the Buddha, and I pray Torah, and I pray to Christ and Allah, and to gods with no name. something true today to help me know the way that I am today. And I pray to the Buddha, and I pray Torah, and I pray to Christ and Allah, and to gods with no name. To the gods with no name. Hey, George Dursey. What's up, buddy? Good to see you checking in. So, whoever one might pray to, I wish that we all find some ease and some grace, some friendliness, and some space to kind of surrender into the mystery, in that somehow all of the pain and suffering and hardship that's coming about from COVID. It's interesting, I saw an article on Medium today that put forward the question, what if the virus is the medicine? And it invites an interesting reflection. And again, maybe it's a good place to close here as we link back to where we opened. You know, there are those of us who are being invited to center around our homes and get really in touch with our hearts and our loved ones in a deep intimacy and way of caring that we haven't had before. And we get to extend our love and gratitude to those who are out on the front lines, working so hard to minimize the impact that COVID-19 has on humanity. So that feels complete for today. Thank you all for checking in and listening, and I wish you all well. If anyone wants to chat, I love connecting, talking about the full human expression of what we're going through right now. So if you need a dedicated listener, if you want some support, if you want a friend, feel free to reach out, direct message, and always happy to drop in with y'all. All right, have a good night, and we'll talk soon.